Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. I'm joined by Si and Tone as we're going to have a look at tomorrow night's game, which is obviously a must-win. I know we should stop probably saying must-win games because we said that about Liverpool, didn't we? We said it about Arsenal, didn't we?
Yeah.
We're now saying it about Aston Villa, so hopefully it's different. But we do actually need to win this game. And there's a lot to discuss in terms of team lineup, style. I don't know what these guys' opinion is actually on the league. Do these guys think the league's still on? I don't know. I've not spoken to them about it, so it'll be interesting to hear what they have to say. Guys, do me a favor. Please make sure you drop a like. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. Sorry, we're a bit late. You know what I mean? I just had something that I needed to do, so apologies about that. I hope you accept my apology. Si, you was at the game. You made it back in one piece. Are you well?
Yeah, barely made it back in one piece. Had some plane troubles on the way back. Was interesting, I would say, at least. Kind of prayed to God a few times there, but yeah, went to the game. As always, I have fun when I'm in Manchester. Did not have that much fun during the game. Pretty disappointed. Got it. Don't think we need to dwell too much into that. I think we're all in the same board there. So I'm looking forward to a good game tomorrow.
Cool. Tone, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Ready for tomorrow. Season starts tomorrow. I'm ready. I'm sensing something.
You see what we're doing here, Tone?
Yeah.
The season starts tomorrow. We're just postponing it game by game by game. But listen, let me come to you first on the Villa game, man, because this is, for me, I don't know your take on this, and I'll come to you after Tone's side. But like my opinion is genuinely the only way that we win the league, in my genuine opinion, is if we win 9 out of 9. I think because I don't see Liverpool and Arsenal dropping enough. Well, Liverpool especially because obviously Arsenal are closer, but I don't see Liverpool dropping enough points for us to be able to win the league mathematically, if you do the maths, without us winning 9 out of 9. Do I think we can do that? Yes, but we have to start tomorrow. Where are you at now with the league? And what's your sort of take on tomorrow's game and like sort of our approach to
it? Yes, I think we need to. So you're asking me first, aren't you?
Just
making sure. Yeah. Yes, I think we definitely need to win tomorrow, and we need to start clicking into gear now. That goes without saying. We absolutely must win tomorrow. I still think Liverpool are going to drop a couple of games. I know others probably don't, and I think Arsenal will as well. So 9 out of 9, maybe 8 wins, draw 1. Maybe we'll win the league, but we absolutely have to win tomorrow. We need to start putting the marker down now. You said on the show the other day, every week we're changing it. This week, City are back. This is the one, and it's just not bloody happening. So hopefully tomorrow we'll see them start playing as we know they can, stepping up through the gears, because this is the point I've made time again, is I still think Arsenal and Liverpool sort of peaked. And the hope is that they regress a little or have a couple of slips, whereas City have just sort of meandered along all the way, waiting to click. And every week we say, they're going to click, they're going to click, they're going to click. I'm going all out. Tomorrow will be the one that we click. And when you do your review show, LB, you'll be buzzing. I'm telling you, mate. I'm telling you.
Well, it needs to click. Let me ask Si this question, right? Because even though we're not winning these games, right, we're not losing. So we're doing something right. This isn't like we're absolutely ass. Like something is going well in the sense that we're not losing the games. But what do you think it is, especially in the bigger games, right? Because we are beating most of the teams that are below us, like that are outside the top 6. But in the top 6 games, we're not really losing them, bar Arsenal away and Villa away, but we're not winning them. What do you put that down to? What changes do you think we need to make there?
That's such a difficult question. What's down to? I just think that most of it is like we are coming off a triple and trying to win again after a triple, and also we've just done a three-peat. Being here again in the conversation is massive in itself. I just think that something is lacking when you're playing at this level, when you're trying to win the league. 1%, 2% can be the difference in winning a trophy, right? So it's just, as we say all the time, is about clicking, finding the right solutions. And what are the solutions? Us three have been talking about playing Kovacic in the middle in the bigger game, having Grealish back will give us that security. But still, like against Arsenal, we had these players. We did what we all wanted to do, and we were still lacklustering. Like Haaland is not himself. Kevin is not playing as we expected him to after coming back, and it's all down to like we just need that little bit of sauce in the game, that X factor that just come from nothing. We had that with Gundogan. We had that with Mahrez. In these tight games, they would step up, and when we don't have Kevin stepping up and Haaland stepping up, I think we're lacking that X factor in the games. So how do we get that out of the next few games? I don't know, but if we look at it in a positive way, we only have Tottenham as the last big six to play, which is the teams we've been struggling against. So we're winning the matches we should be winning. So I think that's a positive when we look at the 9 remaining fixtures. There's only Tottenham in the big 6 remaining. So yeah, I think we need to go more gung-ho when we have the players back.
So yeah, I agree. I spoke about this a little bit with Nobbins yesterday about the fact that I think we now need to lean more into an aggressive side, because I think people need to realize now that like draws are no longer good enough for us. Like they're literally not good enough for us now. Like they're literally killing us. Like if you actually look, we've lost less games than Arsenal, but we've drawn too many. So for me, I don't want to go like full chaos ball. Like if you remember the game when we went to Stamford Bridge and played Chelsea away, and like it was just ridiculous. Like we had literally no control. Like I don't want to do that, but I do think we need to lean a little bit into more of the attacking side, because we're just not creating enough, lads. Like you mentioned X Factor their side, but you can speak about X Factor. The fact is, like against Arsenal and other games, like we've had Kevin De Bruyne, we've had Foden play, we've got Bernardo Silva, even Rodri can create, and then you've probably got someone on the left-hand side as well, and we're not creating enough. And I'm just wondering, why do you guys think that is? Are the players tired? We've played a lot of football in the last 18 months. You had the World Cup thrown in there as well. Is it tactics from the manager? So we're saying the manager's not quite getting his tactics correct. Are the players just maybe like not good enough, which is probably unlikely? Are they carrying injuries? Like, I don't know. I'd throw it out to either of you. Like, what are you putting this lack of creativity to down to? Go on, Tom.
I do think the injuries and the players coming back. I know the first thing people say is, well, everyone gets injuries, and they do. But I think we've missed key players for long spells, and they've come back, and then they come back and they're having to be managed, like De Bruyne and so on. And we haven't quite clicked because we haven't been able to get, maybe not perhaps the strongest 11, because I don't really know what that really is, to be honest, but a strong team consistently to be able to really play at our free-flowing best. I mean, our last 3 Premier League games I think were Arsenal, Liverpool and Man United, which are 3. Okay, United are terrible, but 2 of those games are quite tough, so you wouldn't expect to create too much against those, especially against Arsenal's bus on Sunday. And United, I thought we created enough to win about 5 games. But yeah, I think there's probably some other reasons. I think the problem is teams. It's so difficult when teams park the bus, like Arsenal's level of players. It's not Sheffield United. This is Arsenal. I'm just talking about this Arsenal game particularly at the moment, and other teams that follow suit. They park everybody back, and people say, "Oh, speed it up a bit, change the transition." But it's very difficult because there's no space. You can't. Oh, we'll get it wide. Well, they're going across the back. It's very, very difficult to create against that, and unfortunately, every team, bar perhaps Liverpool, are afraid of us. Every single one comes to our place and sits there because they're terrified, and they don't. And people go, "Oh, well, Liverpool score 4 against them," but that's because they don't show Liverpool the same respect they show us, in my view. And that's what I think it is. I just think it's very difficult to keep creating against teams with 10 men in their own box.
Do you think, because obviously Arsenal's situation was unique in the sense that like he clearly wanted a point, because a point basically, if you think about it logically, they can kind of forget about Manchester City if they do their own business. If they win 9 games out of 9, They don't
Yeah.
have to think about Manchester City. So it basically, for Arsenal now, it's essentially a two-team race with Liverpool, unless they falter. Do you think that the games coming up? Do you think any of the games that City have coming up will face something similar to that degree? Because they were, and I'm not having a go. I agree with the tactic. I know a lot of City fans don't, but I agree with the tactics that are deployed. Do you think that any teams are going to play in such a defensive way again? Because I'm looking at the teams, bro, and I'm like, I don't know if we're going to face that level of defending again. To be honest, like surely Aston Villa are not going to come to Manchester City tomorrow and play that defensive. Like, they're in a top 4 race, man. Like, yeah, I mean, they could be outside the top 4 by the end of tonight. They kind of need to win the game. Surely they're not going to come to the Etihad and be like really, really, really defensive.
Yeah, Villa play an extremely high line, probably the highest line I've ever seen, to be honest. They take many a risk. Now, whether they do that tomorrow or drop back, I think they will drop back a little. They'd be beyond ridiculous to play that high of a line against Haaland. So I don't see that happening at our place, but I do think they will drop, but perhaps not to the extent Arsenal did, where, you know, Saka sat on the edge of the 18-yard box and whoever the left guy on the left was. But you're right, looking at those games, we faced all the best teams. Tottenham away will obviously be tricky, but there's no one of the level of Arsenal and Liverpool. They're the 2 other best teams. We've played them now. The toughest game we've got left is Spurs away. I know I keep saying this, but every game Forest away will be tricky because they're fighting relegation and so on. You know, there's other teams fighting for stuff here. You know, Wolves outside chance of Europa, very probably outside, and so on. So it's going to be very, very tough to predict. But you're right in what you're saying. We will not, if they hit hold everybody back, they won't be at the level of Arsenal, not even close to that level. Yeah.
So let me ask this question. Yeah, and chat. I want to know what you guys have to say about this. Is it time then that City go for a more aggressive attacking play style? Because for me, I think it is. You know, we spoke about the fact that draws are no longer good for us. Draws are 2 points dropped, not 1 point gained anymore. We've not got enough time to recoup the points later on in the season. There's only 9 games left. Do you think now it's sort of time to not go Hail Mary, but really start showing that we need to start winning these games? And especially as well, because not only do we need to win games, if you think about the goal difference aspect to it as well, you know, obviously if you're going more attacking, there is more chance of goals being scored. But at the same time, you do have to accept that there are risks associated with being more attacking. The risk of being counter-attacked is also higher. Like, do you think we should carry on? Because in theory, we've been doing okay. You know, we've not lost a game since December, and we're beating everyone that we are meant to beat. Or do you think that no, we should now start really full sending it and going not all out attack, but towards that direction?
Well, I think that we should start trying Kevin and Foden in the midfield at the same time. Now we have Grealish back, so we could have the control on the wings with Jack and Bernardo. I would have loved also having Stones in there because he gives that extra security in midfield. I do think it's too early to play him tomorrow. I wouldn't risk him. It's a groin injury, just as Jack had it, and we saw that.
Stones?
That's Stones, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like us now just to be, because I say before every season, I always say if you lose points in 10 or more matches, you basically won't win the league. And we're on 10 games now where we drop points, which means for me that we need to win the rest of the games. Like, if we don't need to win the rest of the games, that will mean that both Arsenal and Liverpool have fucked up massively. And I don't think that will happen. So for me, I'm agreeing with you, LB. We have to win every game. And I think we have to go a bit more gung-ho, but like we can't just abandon all our principles and our style of play. So, but I would try, like when we have Grealish and Bernardo on the wings, they will give us security. Let's try Kevin and Foden in midfield. We have to unleash Foden. When we played the best, he played in the middle. Let's just try it. Like against Aston Villa would be a good game to do it. Only thing is, I would have loved, as I said, Stones in there because he will partner up with Rodri and give that security and solidity in midfield to be for Foden and Kevin to roam a bit more. So I think that's what we should do.
Yeah, but do you know what John Stones? You say you wouldn't select him, but like, what more do we need for us to select him? I mean, he was on the bench against Arsenal, so clearly he's been signed off from the physios. Like, are you just being extra cautious? Because for me, bro, I'll tell you this. Like, I think we've got to start taking risks. I think we've got to start taking risks with players, with the system a little bit, because we are now in the situation where we have to be winning matches. For me, if you've got a player that's been signed off from the physio, it's not like he's not been signed off, bro. The physio has clearly said this guy is ready to play. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been on the bench.
But if he was ready to play, he would have played against Arsenal. So I just think it's the same case as with Jack. They signed him off twice, and he got injured again. For me, this is my logic behind why I wouldn't play him tomorrow, is that I think we will beat Aston Villa without him, and I really want. I see a Crystal Palace away as a harder fixture than Aston Villa at home, and I really think that we need Stones for that game to be able to break Palace down, who's been pretty decent in recent times in defense. So he could probably play, but at the moment he's probably in a higher risk of getting re-injured, and I think we should lower that percentage of him getting injured again by not playing him tomorrow.
Okay, interesting. Chat, let me know in the live chat. Do you guys agree? Should we start John Stones tomorrow, or would you give him? Tom, what's your thoughts? Would you start him?
No, I'm with Si. I think Si's spot on, but I get your point, LB, about playing him and we're running out of games now, and you've got to take risks. I just think it's a bit too much of a risk at the moment with the games coming up, Real Madrid particular, where it would be very useful to have Stones. I'd be tempted to throw him in against Palace and Real Madrid than Villa and Real Madrid. He's just come back, and I just probably overcautious, but we know his record. I'd just give him that little couple more days, get him back. Although word is he's fully fit, so I see what you're saying about playing him. If he is 100%, which I can't imagine he is, but if he is 100%, then fine. But I'm just very cautious. I'd start him at Palace.
Yeah. Also, Villa have so many injuries, like no Watkins, no Kamara, no McGinn. Like they're a pretty rampage team for the game tomorrow, and I think we can manage without Stones. I really think.
Good point. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Cool, interesting. Guys, get your comments in down below what you think on the John Stones situation. Mohammed says too many players underperforming this season. I want to come on to a player that maybe falls into that bracket for some people, maybe a lot of people, is Jeremy Doku. Signed in the summer from Stade Rennes. It was relatively big cash, 60 million euros, so just over 50 million quid. So far this season, for us actually, it's 4 goals and 6 assists. So what's your take on Jeremy Doku, guys? Because he really does split the fan base. Like I say, he's only scored in 2 games in the Premier League this season. He got 5 assists in the Premier League. However, to be fair, 4 of them did come in 1 game. Is he good enough to start the match tomorrow? Would you start him tomorrow, based that we're trying to go for a more attacking option? And just generally, thoughts on Jeremy Doku. So I'll come to you first on it.
So I think when we look at Doku, we forget this is his first season and he's so young. I think why we demand so much of him is that he does like 99% of the hardest thing in football, which is to beat your man and like run onto goal. And then you just need that 1% to improve on his end product, either finding the net or finding his teammate in the penalty area. So I think we're being harsh, but I think we're being harsh on him due to like that obvious qualities he have of beating his man. Like we don't see that so often at City, and I don't think I would start him tomorrow. I think I would go with the team I just said before and have him as a weapon in the second half. I think we need the fluidity now. I think we need to start Jack. I think we need to go back to almost the triple winning side.
I can't hear LB. Can
I
you-
think you're
Sorry.
muted. Yeah.
Any room for Doku for you, bro?
No, I wouldn't start him tomorrow. If Doku is the player I thought he would be, not to sound like "Ooh, I was right," which would make a change. He's raw. He's talented. He's got ability. We can all see it, but it's going to take time for him to come to sort of fruition at City, I think. No, I don't start him. I agree with Sai. I think Grealish should start tomorrow, and I think we need to play the strongest 11 possible, bearing in mind the games we have. And Doku at the moment, in my view, is not in that strongest 11 to play a top team like Villa.
A lot of people in the chat says Thotam's saying it, Itchy Goat's saying it. I've seen Pele say it. Zef's saying it in the chat as well. There's actually quite a lot of people in the chat saying this. Oscar Bob. People want Oscar Bob to start. There's actually quite a lot of people in the chat throughout the stream have been calling for Oscar Bob. The thing is with Oscar Bob is, whilst I'm cool with him playing, like who you dropping, man? Who you dropping? Because for me, if we go through the starting 11 now, for me, for this is the Aston Villa game tomorrow, right? This is sort of like the best team we've got available. Let's try and build the team up. And for me, whilst I've not got a problem with Bob starting, I'm just like, well, who are you going to drop? You drop Bernardo Silva because he played all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's been doing a little bit better recently. So Ederson's still out of this game, any tone.
Yeah, Edison's out. He's definitely out for this one. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're gonna go Akanji right back. Do we go Akanji right back?
I'm not so sure of that.
No,
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yep. Or Nunes.
Or Bernardo.
Let's put Rico Lewis in there. And then we'll go what? Akanji, Diaz, Gvardiol, yeah? We happy with that? That's chill, isn't it? I actually thought as well, you know, when Rico Lewis come on and this was our back line, I actually thought it was really, really strong. And I know they got in like once or twice, but that was mainly like pace. Like teams have done that to us all season. I don't think that was anything specific to do with the players that were playing. So, and I know I raved about it the other day, but again, massive credit goes to Rico Lewis because he's hardly played any football this year, this season, let alone this calendar year. He's hardly played any football at all. And he come on and he was absolutely class, mate. Didn't put a foot wrong, got on the ball, wasn't scared, was brave, made plays. And I just got to say full credit to him because not that I doubted him, but the only thing that I thought was like, this guy's going to be rusty, you know what I mean? And he just wasn't. He just looked like he was just ready. And you know, full credit goes to him because he was mega.
I'm pretty sure that we will invert Lewis for this game and not push Gvardiol up on the left. I'm pretty sure that when we don't have Stones. And as you said, LB, he did great in the Arsenal game, although he wasn't really tested that much. So if Arsenal actually wanted to attack, we might have seen a bit more of him. But I think definitely he should start this game. And I think he should invert. This would be a good game for him.
Well, we'll speak about the inverting options in a second because he's got a couple of options, but I agree. Okay, so Rodri will go in the middle. Now, here's where I'm going to change my opinion to what I've been saying for recent weeks. I am not going to be playing Kovacic in here because, one, we're going to have a player inverting, which we'll speak about in a second. But two, I have to now lean on the risk versus the reward. You know what I mean? I've got to go for that attack. I've got to go for goals. I've got to go towards creativity because a draw does me nothing. And yes, I fully accept that this team is probably slightly more attacking and slightly more aggressive and that there are risks associated. But you got to risk it for a biscuit, man. And I don't want to draw this game 0-0. I want us to go for it. And if we do end up losing or we do end up drawing or with whatever, at least we've gone down fighting and trying to win the game rather than just be like cautious. So for me, I'm going Phil Foden in the middle. Yeah. Proper midfield this time, not this weird ass left wing thing, where he's like 1 minute is wing, next minute is it. Now stick him in the middle, and Kevin De Bruyne, get him in the middle as well. That'll take the load a little bit off De Bruyne. I've told you this all season, guys. I don't really like Phil Foden in this weird inverted wing midfield position. If you're gonna play him on the wing, play him on the wing. If you're gonna play him in midfield, play him in midfield. But don't put him, in this weird, like, sort of inverted position, mate. Very rarely works. Very rarely works. So that's how I go. I know it's a little bit risky, but that's where I think we're at in the season. I think we got a risk. personally.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'd have that exact first. How many's that? 8 on there. So yeah, completely agree. We've got to just get that midfield going, get forward, and go for it. Absolutely, not gung ho like you said, Chelsea, Stamford Bridge stuff, and get silly and players are running out of position. But we've got to go, and that 8 is unbelievable. Despite the injuries at the back, that is still good enough.
Yeah. Let us know, guys, in the chat. Do you agree? Do you think it's too aggressive? If you think it's too aggressive and you think we need Kovacic in there, let us know in the chat. Sai, take us through the front line.
I would go with Grealish on the left. I'm actually right now pondering, and this might be crazy. I might get like hammered for it in the chat, but I'm thinking about dropping Haaland for this game.
Nah,
I am. Let me reason it. Someone has to do it. I will do it. So when Haaland was injured, I actually think we played the best football we've been doing this season. And it's not to put the blame on Haaland, but no player is too big to get a rest and sit out when things ain't working. And I think that when we play Foden and Kevin in the middle, having Alvarez who can drop in and let Foden and Kevin play on the run of him, almost as a false 9, will drag out Aston Villa's player. And I don't really rate Aston Villa's midfield or defense for this game, which I think that having those 3 interchanging just outside of their box will be too much for them. This might be harsh, like dropping Haaland is a big decision, but I'm a big man, and I think that I would ponder this. I would not just put Haaland in. And on the right, I'm thinking about Bob. If I go with Alvarez, I wouldn't go with Bob. I would go with Bernardo, but Bernardo might need a rest, and I think he's more important for the Crystal Palace and Madrid game. And I actually have so much trust in Bob, so I think he would do great on the right for us.
So what would your striker be?
I said I pondered, right? It's actually difficult to like say it, like to do it.
I'll say it, bro. Say it. You're sitting here, you're raising the topic. Say it, man.
Yeah, I'll say with chest. I would put Alvarez in it, and when we do Alvarez, I'll put Bernardo on the right.
So that's your team, yeah? Bernardo on the right. That's what you do.
That's what I would do, yeah.
Would you actually drop Haaland, like genuinely? Are you just like throwing it out there as a debate, like or a topic? Like, would you actually genuinely drop him if you was the manager tomorrow?
I would not. Okay, let me say it. If Pep does it, I think there's argument to be made of doing it. I think this could be a really good game, and something's just missing from Haaland. Something is missing when I see him play. Like,
yeah, the chances, bro. That's what's missing. No one's creating bloody chances, man.
No, but LB, he's been like underperforming his XG so much this season. So it's not about the chances. He's not getting chances right now, but there's something in his play, in his attitude, which we haven't seen before. And he's still a young player. Sometimes you have to take 1 step down to take 2 steps up. And I just think that this front line would cause so much havoc in the Aston Villa midfield and defense.
Why can't we rest him against Luton?
You have Palace after this, right?
Yeah. But I don't think you don't want to rest him against Palace, innit? I don't think.
No, that's why you don't play in this time. You play in Palace, play in Madrid, and then.
No, but this is the Champions League game. We have to win the game. If we don't win the game, it's done. It's chalked. I can't do it, man. Let me see what the poll's saying. I did put a poll in the chat.
Where's your chest, brother?
The chat. In fact, there's only had 55 votes. Chat, there's a live poll going on now in the live chat section of the stream. So go there. You can vote for free. And obviously, if you're watching back on the replay, you think Sai's chatting like nonsense, or you actually think he's onto something here? To be fair, there's quite a lot of people in the chat who do agree. So it'll be interesting to see. But have your vote now if you're watching live in the live chat section. Tone, you think Sai is on something here, or what's your take on this Haaland stuff?
Yeah, sorry, Sai. Yeah, no, I would start Haaland. This is a must-win game, and I get what Sai's saying. There's something not quite right with Haaland. Is he still having problems with his foot or what have you? He still starts, in my opinion, especially against that Villa defence, which I don't think their record's that bad, but whenever I watch them, they are open, very, very open. They may not be so much tomorrow, as I was saying earlier. But Haaland starts all day in this game, and I'd start him at Palace and Real Madrid as well. My view is if Haaland's there and ready, he plays every single game, because it's not so much. We didn't really see it so much with Arsenal, but not Haaland's fault. It's that he takes away at least 2 players every single time. Gabriel and Saliba were on him the entire game. That is 2 top-class centre-backs having to marshal 1 player. So Haaland starts, in my view, I think Alvarez will start on the right, Grealish on the left, and I think Bernardo will be rested.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Didn't expect that, yeah?
I think that.
You will
I
do
think
that?
Pep will go with that. I think Pep will go with that tomorrow.
I can say something, yeah. I'm fully game for dropping Bernardo Silva in this match because we need goals, man.
Yeah.
We need goals. We need people who can score. We need people who can create chances. Again, this is where we're at. Now, the only thing I would say is you do have Foden and De Bruyne in there with Haaland, with Rodri as well. So I'm not fully I'm not saying drop him, Bernardo Silva. I kind of like with Sai. I kind of have the control with Grealish and Bernardo Silva, but I'm not fully against it. But me personally, I would stick with Bernardo because that gives us a little bit of what Pep wants, right? Which is the control. Yeah, he loves control. You got Bernardo there, you got Grealish there to control. Yeah. Obviously, we can speak about who inverts in a second, and then you've got your attack in here, and I'm going to throw Rodri in that as well because Rodri likes to attack as well. I'm going to throw that. So you got your creativity in the middle. Now we need to discuss who's inverting out of this back line because in theory here, guys, there are kind of 3 options. There are 3 candidates. You got Gvardiol who could do it. You got Akanji who could do it. And you got Rico Lewis who could do it. So if we say that midfield and that attacking 3 is what we end up going for, which I like, by the way, I think that's really good. How you see the defense playing on the ball, who pushes where. So I'll come to you first. What do you think?
Oh, wait. Are we just going with Tone's flat out argument for Haaland? What about my guy Alvarez? Are we just choosing Haaland? Well, the chat is on with me, LB. Come on,
that's fake news, bro. That's fake news. The poll. I mean, it's. I gotta say, man, I can't lie. This has shocked me. The poll is a lot closer than I thought.
Yeah.
48% of people are saying drop Haaland. 52% of people are saying it's a silly question. So actually, the chat is saying keep him in, but it's very close.
Well, it was good arguments from a very good football person. No, I would. I bet that we will start Haaland. Also, as Tone said, their high line we will have space, unless they're doing Arsenal, which I hope they don't, but they could. But if they don't, we will have space to run into with Haaland, and that's why he should start. That would be my argument for Haaland, right? Mm-hmm. So who will invert? You said Gvardiol. I don't think we've seen him invert. Did you mean into midfield or pushing up on the left?
However you see the system playing, really. If you see Gvardiol pushing up, we can push him up.
I don't think we would, simply because of having Lewis on right back. Playing a back 3 with Diaz, Akanji, and Lewis is not the same. I mean, the back 3 should be of Gvardiol, Diaz, Akanji, which leads me to the point I would invert Lewis just by the fact of that he should not be playing as a centre back, a part of the 3. And I think he does his best play in the middle. He's so good in tight spaces and he moves around a lot, which creates different pathways for the other players in midfield. So I would go with Lewis to invert, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about this with Nobbins yesterday. We've basically got kind of 2 options, right? You can either invert one player in, so like maybe a Rico Lewis like this, and have the box midfield like we did last year. You've got that there, Rodri to Lewis, De Bruyne Foden, and Rodri back to Foden. So you can do that like we did last year, and then you basically have your back three is what we did last year. Or as we have seen at times this season, and Nobbin's obviously a tactical guru who notices this a lot, is you effectively actually go to an extra one and then have this is obviously when you're defending and have Diaz and Akanji back or Rico Lewis and Diaz back. That is how we have defended at times. Now, personally, I'd rather us just go back to what won us the treble, to be honest with you, which is the box midfield, 4 and a solid back three. It'll be interesting because that'll be a slightly different position to Gvardiol. He has done it a lot this season, but usually he pushes up. And then Grealish, obviously, in this situation will be kind of on his own and he'll get a big responsibility. But I like that team. That's the team I would go for if I was picking a team tomorrow, to be honest with you. I don't really see any major issues with it. You got creativity in the middle. You got Rico Lewis pushing in. Your back three is solid. Your goalkeeper's solid. Your midfield's solid. And your attack is solid. You've still got the creativity that we need, that we're dying for with Foden and De Bruyne. But you've still got your control that Pep likes in Grealish and Bernardo Silva.
I might have another big shout. Don't know what you would think about this. You probably hate it. But is there any world in which Pep would rest Kevin for this game? Because playing him in such a space. Are you sure? Because we haven't been playing Alvarez.
You can't be resting him in this
Wait. So, listen, right? We need some big shouts here, right? We need something to change. So, he hasn't been playing good, and playing every 3 games for the rest of the season, I don't think will do him any good. I think he'll probably get injured again, still have a bit of niggles. Could he, I'm just saying, could Pep try resting Kevin and playing Alvarez in the middle for the game tomorrow?
No.
I'm throwing it out there. This is not me saying we should.
Yeah.
It's out there.
I'm throwing it back to you and saying,
please, chat, don't kill me.
I'm saying no. I don't want it, mate. Now we literally, bro. This is the biggest game of the season because our league season ends tomorrow if we don't win.
I agree.
I'm sorry to break it to people. It's true.
Yeah.
We already pretty much have to win every game for the rest of the season if you actually do the maths. If you lose or draw tomorrow, it's chalked, mate. People will say, "Oh, well, we've done it before." Yeah, we've done it before, man. Yeah, but you're just relying on other teams. You know what I mean? You have to put your strongest team out. And people will say, "Oh, yeah, but LB, the players are tired." Well, this is the position we put ourselves in by not winning games, by not beating Arsenal, by not beating Liverpool, by dropping points to Palace at home when we was 2-0 up, to dropping points to Chelsea home and away. If you do that, you're in this position. When does he rest? When does he rest, LB? Well, I'd like to think that against Crystal Palace, we might be able to get 2-0 up. I'd like to think against Luton Town, if you wanted to rest him there, bring him on after 60 minutes if we need him, you could do that. But we're in a situation where we can't afford to drop. Imagine if he drops Kevin De Bruyne tomorrow and we throw him on with 30 minutes to go because it's 0-0 or we're losing 1-0 and we end up losing. Everyone's just going to be like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I think De Bruyne starts. De Bruyne lacks sharpness. He doesn't look quite, not fit, well, sharp. He doesn't look sharp. So the only way De Bruyne's going to get sharp is by playing football. He starts tomorrow. He played the full game against Arsenal, which was a tad surprising. I thought he might have been one of the ones that come off. But I think he'll start tomorrow. I think he'll come off because it was literally a few days ago and less than 72 hours we played Palace and then 3 days later Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But I think he'll play because we have to win the game. When he's playing, he's our best player. He's probably the best player in the league when he's on it. And the only way he's going to get back to that level or anywhere near it is by playing. He has to play tomorrow, in my view.
Listen, if we win tomorrow, Si, I wouldn't be completely against the idea of not playing him against Palace and then maybe bringing him on.
I think that's the one way to go about it. I'm throwing Crystal Palace away so much more than a game tomorrow. I understand that we need to go at one game at a time basis, and if we don't, we have to evaluate after each game. If we don't win, evaluate what do we do the rest of the season? But I think Crystal Palace is such a tough, like it's in my mind, it's a harder game than tomorrow. I think it's, you said we will go 2-0 up against Crystal Palace. I think we're sleeping on that game. I really do.
I'm not sleeping. I'm fully aware it's a tricky game, but for me, tomorrow, like we've drawn our last 2 Premier League matches. Tomorrow, we've not beaten a single team inside the top 5. I hear it. I know Palace is going to be a tricky game. Please don't think I think it's going to be easy. But like the stats just tell us, that tomorrow is going to be a mad game. I go all out tomorrow. Yeah, the treble documentary is out. No spoilers in the chat. Everyone's getting gassed again. Let's go out tomorrow. Let's get a win, and then we can start to think about Saturday and start to think about, where can we rest a player here, where we can rest a player there. But for tomorrow, I just think we've got to go full strength. I really do. Guys, keep your comments coming in. Make sure you have smashed a like on the stream, by the way. I forgot to ask. Over 300 people tuned in right now. Let's get those likes let's get them to 200 likes, man. 15 people needed. 15 people out of 300 to hit the thumbs up button. Get us to 200 likes, guys. There are some matches currently on. I'll just give you guys a quick update on the scores. If you don't want to hear, then turn the audio off a second. So Newcastle are currently 1-0 up against Everton, I believe. You've got Forest 3-0 up against Fulham. Fulham are a weird team at the moment. I think they might be on the beaches,
Burnley just scored.
Yeah. Who scored?
Burnley.
Oh,
if they win that, I think they're a point of safety if they win that.
Let's have a look. So let me have a look. So they'll be on 22 points. They'll be 3 points off safety.
Oh, is that because Forest are winning?
Forest are currently winning, yeah.
That's why, yeah. So, but they are closing that gap.
But if Everton get another points deduction, so they'll be out, and Everton will be in.
Very true.
Everton could be fucked,
Yeah, they've got another one on the way as well.
Yeah.
A few people have said that. I think Stefan said it. They've got another points deduction.
Five points, people are saying. Imagine if they stay up after getting 2 points deductions. That would be insane.
Well, I know. The teams that get relegated, that's on yourself, isn't it? If a team's got 2 points deductions, it's absolutely crazy. But Burnley's goal difference is stinky as well, minus 34. So that's like that doesn't do them any favors there. Okay, lads. Anything else that you wanted to speak about ahead of tomorrow's game, or just football generally?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to say something. Right?
No. I was thinking about if I had any more wise ass comments, so it'll be to shoot it down and boil me and burn me in the chat.
I think. Sorry.
No, just go on, bro.
Nunes, we haven't really spoke about him. Could he start tomorrow? And again, I'm going to say what Si said and say, I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying that right-hand side where you guys have gone Bernie and I've gone Alvarez, Nunes, it hasn't even been mentioned. We've just gone through that squad, him, maybe him, then. Nunes literally got not even a mention. And all these games coming up, maybe he'll start at Palace, maybe not. But do you throw him in for tomorrow if Bernardo's going to get rested or De Bruyne?
If you're throwing him in, you're throwing him in right back or right wing.
Right.
Because you're not throwing him in midfield because he's just not going to play there, is he? I mean, he's hardly played any football for us all season, Nunes. So, yeah, if you're throwing him in to fill a spot, probably right back. I wouldn't honestly mind him against right back. I think getting Nunes right back and inverting him into midfield, I actually kind of like the idea. I think it's, he can defend. He's quick on the turn. He can push forward from deep. He can carry the ball. I think Nunes at right back, inverted into midfield, is a genuinely good shout. But he's unlikely to. He was on the bench against Arsenal. He brought Rico on, didn't he? So he's unlikely to now He's unlikely to start Nunes when he's got Rico. He seems to really like Rico.
Well, the difference in the Arsenal game, there was no place to play in a run into. If we're right about Aston Villa and they will play as they used, like what they normally do, and play a high line, he would have spaces to run into, which would make Nunes a viable option as a right back or even just in midfield. If they're playing a high line, that would make the argument for playing Nunes. That would be the game for him. It's not a game for him when they're doing a low block. That doesn't suit him. He needs space.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, I say it again. I like Nunes. I just don't see how he plays in this team with the way we play.
I think he'll start Saturday, though. I've got a funny old feeling he'll start at Palace.
Against Palace?
Yeah, I do. I think he'll start that one. Yeah,
Did you see that? Did you see we were looking? Tweeted that we're looking at both Guimaraes and Paqueta. That if Pep gets his wish, we're getting both. That means we don't get Kimmich.
Good, not fucking around like we did last summer.
Yeah.
That's what we did last summer. It took too long, man, on players. You know what I mean? Got a bit unlucky, to be fair, on a couple. We need to go out there because I think this team needs a little bit of refreshness. Yeah, it needs a little bit of an injection of fresh energy and stuff. And good, man. You know what I mean? Clearly, Nunes ain't going to be here long term.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I called it when we signed him as a panic buy. People said, no, it's not. It clearly is. The guy's not playing any football. He's clearly not going to be a long term. Kovacic is a short term option anyway, because the fact that he's 29. So you're going to have to sign someone in that midfield who can do something. Bruno, listen, I think Bruno's a good player. Is he exactly what we're looking for? Maybe not, but it's a release clause. We know that Man City love release clauses. He's got Prem experience, he's international experience, he's played Champions League. Really not a bad option, really. It's 100 mil. It's pretty expensive, but it is what it is. And Paqueta, I mean, if he's available once his gambling charges are done and we don't sign him, I'm going to be so gutted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll be. Yeah, I think we'll be signing him. I think that's the word around is Paqueta or Paqueta or whatever. Yeah, I think he'll be coming as long as the betting stuff's done. And yeah, that's it. And you need to get that thing back on LB that you had on that time. That song, that was brilliant. You've got to do that, mate. He's going to be coming in as long as the betting stuff's sorted. Agent apparently is on it. That's going to happen. The Bruno G one's a funny one because I heard City weren't actually particularly interested in him, so that'll be interesting if that gets picked up again in the summer. And I think someone else you have on the show heard the same as well with Bruno. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, things can change between now and the summer anyway. I don't personally see Kimmich happening. I don't see Musiala coming either because I think they'll both renew at Bayern when the new manager comes in. I know we've said that 100 times. People keep saying about a right back, and I think Walker... I genuinely think Walker's going to go this summer. I think he's going to go.
Damn, for me. That would signal that we did something wrong when we extended him in summer. If he's make him captain and give him 3 years.
Well, I think to be honest with you, not to shit on our own players, but it probably was the wrong decision based on how he's played this season. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's just factually correct. I mean, if this is true that Tommy's saying. And we're getting 40 million quid. He's good. He's as good as gone.
Oh, he's done. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
40 million. Gone, how old is he? 33.
Yeah.
We signed him for 50. Fucking hell! Imagine getting 40 million quid back for him when he's 33. Yeah. I very much doubt this is true because 40 million would make him the third highest transfer fee for an over 30-year-old ever.
Yeah.
And whether or not he will go to Saudi Arabia, his family situation, I don't know all that. So I don't know. But listen, if that is true, then he's as good as gone. And then Frimpong is potentially an option. Yeah.
He'll be 34 in May.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. I think anything over 25, 30 mil, I think he could go after the season he's had.
You ain't getting 40 million for a 34-year-old right back, mate.
No How much did we get from Maris? Like
20, 25, I think it was.
Yeah, you're not getting 40 for Karl. No chance.
And let me throw this out to you then, lads. And I don't know if people in the chat want to say yay or nay. De Bruyne, 100 mil this summer from a Saudi club because they're the only ones that can afford that sort of money. Yes or no, do you sell? 100 mil?
No.
100 is too low. Give me 150 and give me either Virgil and Musiala. I'll do it. I would I love Kevin, he's a fucking legend of this club and what he's given to us. But at some point, you have to make the tough decision, and knowing when to get rid of players is hard. And I think Pep normally does it so well. But we can't overshadow. Like every one of us regretted and cried when Aguero left. We all thought it was too early. And then we go win the treble, signing Haaland, winning the treble, right? So, yeah. If it's 150 and like a viable replacement would be able, like if we could get one of either Virgil, Musiala, whoever, I would do it. Like it pains me to say, but I would.
The last I heard is he'll extend, and that was about a month ago. And I know loads of people heard the same thing, including Tommy, I think. So, I think he'll stay. It's just hypothetical, really. It's just quite interesting. Yeah,
I wouldn't sell him. I don't see what's 100 mil do for us.
150.
What's 150 mil do for us?
Really? You don't think they would take 150 for 30?
But what does that do for us? So we need to sign. Say we sign Paqueta for 80 million. Yeah? So we're already going to sell all these players like Gomez. He's getting sold. You know what I mean? Like all these fringe players will be sold. You'll sell a load of academy players again, like the McAtees of this world. You're going to sell Ortega for 25, 30 million. Like, why do we need the 100 million? I hear the argument that 100 million for Kevin De Bruyne when he's 33 and he's looking shaky. It looks a good fee. But unless my club needs that money, it's irrelevant to me. Because the money aspect is not anything to do with me. I'm a fan of the players and the club. I don't care about the 100 mil. What's that got to do with me? Does that, if City want Verts, they can go get Verts. Like if providing wanted to come, obviously. If City wanted Musiala, they go get Musiala. If they want Bruno, they want Paquette, they can go and get him. You're not telling me that they need 100 million. I just don't. I just don't see it, man.
What if they got 100 million and Verts come in as part of? It's not a package deal, but you know what I'm saying. Would you sell De Bruyne for 100 mil if you got Verts in this summer?
No, I'd say go get Verts anyway.
But if you couldn't get Verts this summer and the option was you buy him this summer or he'll go to Bayern or wherever next, would you sell De Bruyne for 100, 150 and get Verts or keep De Bruyne?
Come on, LP. 150 and you're getting Verts in the same window.
I wouldn't do it, no.
I'll be honest. Look, De Bruyne, in my opinion, he'll probably go down as our best ever and all that. Unbelievable. 150 mil and you get Verts in the same window is tempting, mate. Very, very tempting, lads.
Nah. By the way, we should be getting the Kevin De Bruyne replacement in. I keep saying this, but we should be getting him in before Kev leaves.
I agree with that. I agree. Verts is not leaving if Xabi Alonso is staying. I'm 100% sure of that. If Xabi Alonso is staying, Verts is staying. They've been very clear about what project they want and where they see themselves play. He even said that in an interview that he knows where his future lies. There's already a plan for him.
Yeah, where Alonso goes next summer, 25, that's where Verts will be going. He'll be following him to Real Madrid or City, or outside chance could be with Pep. We don't know. There is a chance still, but wherever he goes, the other one goes, in my view.
As JT said in the chat, Paqueta through balls to Haaland are going to be dirty. Did you see he has 14 through balls in the league, which is the most by far? I mean, if he can carry that onto City.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It's a what if moment. And if we would have signed Paqueta this year, I think we'd be top of the table.
God. Yeah.
Cool.
I do.
Not getting Bellingham, Rice, Paqueta. We just kept going down the ladder of a midfielder, which would have been the different maker. Right.
And if you think about it, we didn't end up really signing one.
No.
And people say, "What do you mean?" We signed Kovacic.
Yeah.
Well, Kovacic was getting signed anyway. He wasn't. He wasn't that player. And people say Nunes. Nunes doesn't play.
Nunes was panic buy, as you said.
So we didn't really sign him. Anyone. You know what I mean? We so it's a bit of a madness. But crazy. Hopefully Paqueta will come. But listen, lads, we're gonna wrap it up, man. I know you guys are busy, you gotta get off, but big up for coming on. Appreciate it as always. Score predictions before we wrap up. Si, Aston Villa tomorrow. Is the league over tomorrow, or is it still on?
Nah, it's still on, brother. A 2-0. Pretty comfortable, I think, as well.
The first win against a top 5 team this season. That's crazy. Yeah. Tone, is the Premier League season over for City tomorrow, or will we winning, man?
You know where I'm going, mate. I'm going, and I tell you now, you can bloody clip this. 4-0 City tomorrow. It's a blitz, and we will be on this show or wherever after, and we will be flying, mate. And we'll be talking about, I tell you what, this is it. 4-0, you've heard it here.
Shit, fair enough. I think I'm going to go, I ain't going clean sheet. You know what I mean? Although we did get a clean sheet against Arsenal, they didn't really attack that much. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Manchester City win, which I think is the most reasonable score prediction. We concede goals, we don't score many, but I have to go for a win, otherwise the league's over. 2-1 is therefore the scoreline.
It's certainly more reasonable than 8-0 that Sam Martin put in the chat. that is a bit too 5, and I'm not that bad.
Jeez.
Just get us a win. Like, I'm at the point where just get us a win. I don't like. Yeah. Just keep winning from here and until the end of the season, and play good in the Champions League. Just win in every game in the Premier League. I don't care about it right now. Just win every time. Scruffy goal,
penalty. Don't care.
I don't care. Like a deflector as Arsenal against us in the beginning of the season. I don't care. Like, just give me 3 points and let's move on.
Yeah.
Well then, right, lads, we're gonna wrap it up. Big up for coming on. I appreciate it as always. Hopefully see you guys in a few days' time for another one. Guys, hopefully you did enjoy the show. If you did, please make sure you drop a like on the stream. Just really helps push the content out to other City fans that are not following the channel yet. Please make sure you're giving us your comments in the comment section below. I will be back tomorrow, probably in the daytime, doing something before obviously the live watch along starts at 7:15. All the build up tomorrow before obviously a slightly later kickoff time of 8:15. And then another game on Saturday. So yeah, it's coming thick and fast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please smash a like. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.